Ooh. The day is getting closer. My behind the wheel driving test is coming up soon in about 16, 17 hours, I don't know. Now, as of now, I'm actually not scared, surprisingly. However, I know the minute I get to the DMV, I will be wanting to poop my pants. So currently, dairy is off limits. Even artificial dairy or fake dairy, that is too much of a risk for me. No thank you. However, if I do get my test license, then we're gonna celebrate with dairy all day long. I asked my parents before, saying like, oh, if they happen to know what kind of document is needed before we get into the DMV, and they all had the same attitude. Aren't you gonna be an adult soon? You still need your parents' help? You can't do that on your own? Why are you acting confusion in the best country in the world? There is no room for confusion in America. So naturally, I had to find all the documents myself. Thanks, Mom and Dad. I didn't ask for you guys to give birth to me just so you guys can force me to take my license test. Yes, my mother is forcing me to take this test because she believes that no adult can live their life licenseless. Plus, she already paid like hundreds of dollars for driving school, which I had to endure. I also had to endure the fact that my mother and father would scream at me in Korean while I was driving, to the point that I would become so tired and mentally exhausted from crying so much that the minute I laid on my bed, I passed out. So with all that in mind, seems like a fun time to get my license. Also, because if my permit expires, then my mother would kick me out of the house and I would be forced to find a new home, and then I would be forced to eat mediocre food. And I would prefer that to not happen. So, have fun watching this vlog. So, I was practicing driving with my dad, and my dad looked at the car and said, "Yeesh, that car needs to be cleaned up." And he was indeed correct. The car was an atrocious mess. So he forced me to drive all the way to a car wash, which was pretty much magical, like Disneyland could never. Sorry. Oh, look at that selfie. Rain on me. Anyways, once the car wash was finished, we had to wipe all the excess water off. So I was trying to film myself like wiping down the car, but for some reason, my dad was possessed by a spirit who was trying to act like those actors in the Transformer ride at Universal Studios. Those like soldier people that yell like, "Go, go, go!" Spare battery. So unfortunately, I could not obtain such footage. However, I did vacuum the hell out of the car. And the car was nice. Anyways, once that was all over, I decided to go home and like take all the color off of my nails. Why would I do that exactly? Because the DMV is a very dark and scary place, and if you have an ounce of color or happiness on you, they will try their best to eliminate you. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I was not in the mood to get eliminated. Because if I die, my mother will revive me out of my grave just to kill me again with her bare hands. So, you know, the nail polish had to go. Once that was finished, I had some mental preparations that I had to do. Behold, the Bible that I've had since I was a young little lad. Just put your toes on there and pray to your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Then that's all. You gotta go to sleep. Get some sleep. So that's it. I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Bye.
My entire family's asleep. It's 6:30. I'm gonna take a shower. I feel so... I feel very nauseous. I don't know why. I feel like I want to throw up. I had dairy last night. I ate cheese. Why would I do that? I told myself.
Dairy is off limits. No thank you.
I don't want to throw up, but I'm not going to. You've had a very busy day. So aggressive.
I'm gonna let my voice take over the narrations, because why the hell not? I mean, it is my video after all. So, once I took a lovely shower, it is time to dry and style my hair. Why must I style my hair with heat? That's because if I don't, I look like a particular someone named Vector. I must burn my hair into crisps if I want to look somewhat decent. And you know what? Target somewhat acquired-ish. Then it was time for breakfast. I had bacon, eggs, and rice because no Asian can live a day without rice. Make sure you brush your teeth. And my mother was trying to give some motivational quotes, but it wasn't working. Now, after my test, I have to go to my job and then psych class. My school requires students to wear a $50 black shirt if we want to graduate. Next up, jewelry. Now, the jewelry I'm wearing is the same earring that Hal wears in Howl's Moving Castle. Why was I wearing this and only one pair? That's because it's to show the examiner that I was actually looking left to right, so it dangles really nicely. Now go put on your windbreaker and stay in line for the goddamn test that you are so happy about. Yes, the day is finally here.
I'm scared.
전화기 만지고 있지 마요.
Manifest. Thank you. Wait, no, wait. Give me like 1 minute. 1 minute.
수가 되고요.
No, 1 minute. 1
Okay,
minute.
okay,
Like 1 minute.
drinking dairy. Well, fake dairy. What does that mean, ladies and gentlemen? It means I passed. They couldn't?
Why? 아예 테스트 못 봤어. 그러더니 가버리더니 아까 전에 우리 앞에 서 있는 거.
I would like to thank my mother for screaming at me in Korean. I would like to thank my father for going less than 10 miles per hour wherever we go. Am I sneezing? Okay. Shit. Toka? Alright. Nope. I got it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I'm not gonna die tonight! I have to go to my job. I have to get to psych class.
무슨 얘기하는 거야?
Myself. I'm documenting this day, sir. So come with me. I got my backpack and I'm about to head to my job. And then I'm heading to school because I have a very busy and long day ahead of me. A quick rundown of what just happened. So the minute I left the house, I realized that it was butt freaking cold, so I decided to go back home and get myself a jacket. So I change into a black hoodie and then I leave the door. Problem is, I forgot my key. We had to go back in the house to get my keys. Finally, I get the keys and I leave the house. Then I forgot my mask, so I had to go back in the house and I couldn't find my mask until I realized I was holding it the entire time. So we just wasted like 10 minutes doing nothing. Then, I drive to the DMV. Now, I actually wasn't nervous, surprisingly, until 30 freaking minutes have passed and there was still no, like, examiner that was gonna test me. So the more I had to wait, the more nervous I was getting, until some guy comes out. I thought he was gonna be a fun guy because he had, like, a necklace with a bunch of pop doll pins and, like, other cool pins, and I was like, oh, he's probably a chill guy. Well, I thought wrong, because he was... No, I don't even know what to say. Let's just move on from this. He first tells me to sign my name on the freaking, like, test score sheet. When I'm writing anything down, like, on a freaking piece of paper, I always have my left hand holding it down and then writing my name. And he tries to smack my hand, be like, no, I'm the only one touching the paper. I was like, okay, someone woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Then he told me to turn on my blinker, which I did. So I turned on my blinker, and then I turned it off, and then he goes up to me and says, I don't recall asking you to turn off your blinker. So I was like, oh, sorry about that. And I turned it back on. Then he goes inside my car and says, where are the emergency parking brake? So I turn it on and off to show that I know how it works. And he goes, I didn't ask you to do that, but whatever. And I was like, oh, okay. Then it was time to drive. Before I was gonna drive, he specifically told me, do not make conversation with me. I do not want to be talked with. Just keep driving. This is gonna be fun. The test went decent, except there's this one part where I accidentally went a bit over the stop line, and he goes, you realize you're supposed to go before the stop line? And I was just like, yeah, sorry about that. And then finally, it's back to the parking lot. He tells me to park in the parking space, and I thought I parked well until I hit the curb. Let me just say, at that moment, my head just dropped. Because if you guys know, hitting a curb or object is an automatic fail. So here I was, feeling helpless, being like, oh, I fucked up. I love you, Mom. I love you, Dad. It was nice knowing you. But then he said congratulations and I passed. So that was great. Apparently I only got 5 points off, which I think is pretty impressive. So yeah, I passed. Oh shit, I need that. I could get it through.
Drinks for you today, miss? All right, so then we
California Pizza Kitchen.